Alaska at all, not at all. You know the West Indies couldn't out Alaska at all. Little Desmond Lewis, also Charlie Davis, they take a little shame from out we face. But Sobers as a captain, he won plenty coaching before we cricket end up in a disgrace. Beatty here that he became a father, he catch out whole five in the cover. But when Sobers here, he too had a son, he made duck and went back in the pavilion. It was Gavaskar, the real master. Just like a wall, we couldn't out Gavaskar at all, not at all. You know the West Indies couldn't out Gavaskar at all. You know the West Indies couldn't out Gavaskar at all. You know the West Indies couldn't out Gavaskar at all.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon to our listeners. Good afternoon to all our friends home and abroad. And it's a pleasure to be here today. One more day, another day, the second day in the week, of course, to talk to you about issues that are affecting us, issues that is in the news, and things that should concern you, Trinidad and Tobago. This is not the normal talk show program where we just talk. We sometimes talk about issues that are relevant to you, and we bring it to you as live as possible, and we also invite you, listeners, the opportunity to chime in every day. So good afternoon to the owners and management of this lovely station, and to all those listening. This show is the third empire or empires, and what we do is we control the narrative through the lens of a cricket game. Of course, we have you as the pavilion, you listening, and of course we have the batsmen who we see as the government in office, and the feeling side is represented by the opposition. So usually we would, on a daily basis, we will talk about issues, and we would talk about how well the batsmen are batting, or how well the fielders are fielding or bowling, what kind of googlies, what is out there that they are putting towards the batsmen. Yesterday we spoke a lot. We had a very topical discussion, but also a very contentious discussion on more or less geopolitical and international affairs with regards to the decision by our Prime Minister to support in a particular way, by her discussion, by her a particular pronouncement she made to support the situation with the ships moving to Venezuelans' water. And we had a lot of concerns, we had a lot of discussion, some good, some maybe criticizing us for bringing it up or supporting it or not supporting it. And that is that brings added value to the show, because this show, we say what our opinion is or what our analysis is, and it's up to you to agree with us or not agree with us. At the end of the show, we spoke a lot about as we usually do. We would usually bring to you issues relative to human resource management, and we spoke a lot for about an hour. We spoke about the issue of disputes in the workplace and how it should be managed, and how you should probably companies or trade unions should manage things like tribunals. So we give you the whole gamut of the processes that follows a dispute which would usually be heard through a tribunal. And so today we have, similarly, we have some issues to discuss. Maybe we should start with some international affairs. And I would first want to talk about the issue relating to the 20 people that was killed in Israel after a hospital was, in Gaza, after a hospital was bombed. Just to say that it is not the first time Israel has repeatedly bombed hospitals, claiming that there are members of Hamas hiding out in hospitals, although providing no proof of it. In this case, they would have bombed and killed 5 journalists among the 20 persons, and they would have hit an area where journalists usually congregate after a war, after a bombing, or you know, to deliver live news to the public. What I note, and what is over there, and you know, I like to talk about things that are factual, that has already been proven, and it's all there. You can go and check it out and read it. Israel, in their bombing in the last 22 months or so since this war has been pronounced on the people of Gaza and Lebanon, has killed over 200 journalists. So that is not by error. They have targeted journalists, especially journalists from Al Jazeera and these kind of places. They've targeted them, and it's no surprise that they killed 5 yesterday. This is a breach of international law. It's a breach of a UN charter on journalism and communication and that kind of thing. But Israel continues to do it. Somehow we don't hear people enough criticizing what is happening in Israel, and sometimes I wonder if those persons are classified as probably ants or worms or some kind of probably 4th class or 5th class people, that this is happening. And we seem to be nonchalant, not us in general, but people all over the world seem to be nonchalant. And then when you think of what is happening and how it is happening, you would understand that there are mechanisms through the UN and through the through international law and things to protect those persons, but one country in particular keeps vetoing every single attempt. I remember the South African government did bring a suit against, in the International Criminal Court, a suit against Netanyahu and his band of, I would say, rebels. And it was, at the end of it, it was vetoed. And so Netanyahu is still free to go all over the world and is supported by a number of countries. And the veto is coming from one country, the same country that goes around the world saying that they're promoting peace and they want the best thing for the world in terms of peace. They are the ones also that are funding. It's American bombs that are dropping on the people of Gaza, if you didn't know. And the death toll in Gaza by bombing and killing, that genocide that is taking place in Gaza, over 55,000 people have already been killed in that 2-year period. And that is something that, you know, we have to take account for. And yet you are still hearing people saying that what Netanyahu is doing, maybe the Hamas leaders and they should surrender or give up the hostages that they have, and you know, that kind of thing. But what is sad is that people are getting killed, babies. I think more than 60% of the people that are killed are children and women and children, right? And that should tell you something. If that isn't waking you up and to understand the double standards that are playing out throughout the world, I don't know what will. And the people in the world who sit, including some of us here, who sit and say, well, we can't do nothing. I mean, it's America, and you know, we had to support them still, and that kind of thing. I remembered years ago, I was listening to a celebration, a D-Day celebration, and a gentleman read a poem from a priest who was in a Nazi concentration camp in the mid-40s, and that resonates. He said that first they came for the socialists and I did nothing because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists and I did nothing because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews and I did nothing because I was not a Jew. When they came for me, there was no one with the will to stand and support me. And that is exactly, we might think we are small, we might think that we are a dot, we might think people all over the world might think they can't do anything. But your voices have power and you could do something. Because if enough of us stand up and speak about it, eventually some changes may come. And that is always my position. You know, I'm a person who I always support the underdog. I always see the ills from an ethical standpoint, the bad things that people do sometimes and that are supported by the majority because they feel they cannot do anything. So that to me is a sad thing, because every day you hear about what's going on in Russia and Ukraine. Still, Russia would have demonstrated time and time again why they have attacked Ukraine. Ukraine is like a little brother to Russia, and that war could end. They have the solutions for that. It's not ending because Ukraine has become a proxy, and the whole attempt is to probably weaken Russia for you know, hegemonic interests. And that too, the same may happen with China and Taiwan and, you know, all the other places, Venezuela and, you know, all the other places. And, you know, people or something need to happen. I put something in the on my Facebook a couple of months ago. When did God die and make America, put America in charge? So, and it's not like I have a problem with America. My thing is that I'm a person who just look at fairness and not necessarily might is right. So that is something that I would have observed also in the newspapers, and I needed to say something about it, and maybe we could probably create some discussion out of it for the next hour or so. The other things that you would see in the newspaper, the person in charge of First Citizens Bank would have said that she did not resign. I would wait for my other compatriot to have those kind of discussion when she come, and then I see Raji Ali in prison. I can't understand why he's still, why after about 10 years in prison, why he's still on remand. But he still seems to be creating problems in the system in terms of communicating with the public and directing certain miscreants and certain activities that are not in keeping with the detention order that was placed on him. And that too is of concern. Those are things that maybe we could generate some discussions on, because these things are certainly affecting us. So, ladies and gentlemen, listeners, before we go into the meat of the show, we'd like to hear what you have to say, on all of these issues, because certainly we do have a part to play. We can say something, and yeah. Other than that, we have also situations that are happening that are also in the news, and that have been in the news for a while, like the CPEP issue and the URP situation, and also situations as it relates to national security, all of which we can talk about. We can talk about how the batsmen are batting, how you feel the batsmen are batting. Let's take a call this evening. First caller. Good evening.
Good afternoon. So good afternoon, sir. As always, listen to your program. Now, what I want to say is, to me, when I hear the Prime Minister talk, she did not support America. You know, what she said was that if Venezuela attacked Guyana, what they wanted to do, when she was given the privilege to use her waters to help defend Guyana, right? That does not mean that they support America. But I want to talk. Now, she's the Prime Minister of the country. I wouldn't say everything she do or say would be right, or what would be wrong. I mean, everybody have their opinion. Dr. Rowley is not the Prime Minister of this country no more. And when he was there, he told us that do all kind of things. And nobody couldn't talk. He's not living in Trinidad, and he's not the Prime Minister of this country. He's no part of the government. You have no right to push him out and nothing. Because when he was sick, it was on the news with the prostrate, the headquarters for America. Just stay out of the both sides. Stay out of the both sides. Your daughter married an American citizen and she lived in there. Right? Get out of the both sides. Do like me. Get out of the both sides. Beckles. When Beckles was sick and they couldn't diagnose her here in Trinidad, she had for America. Right? So she should not find herself in no side too. Just stop and walk and see what's going on. You don't have to support CARICOM. You don't have to. Because when your house is in trouble and all these crime and all these things happening here in Trinidad, you see CARICOM helping nothing. Right now, America helping Haiti. A 2 years ago, America helped Africa. America helped Venezuela. America helping all over. So what I think Rowley and the CNN and the opposition should do, just stay out of that. Kamala is out of it. We are safe. She just said if Venezuela attacked Guyana, they could do that. Because Venezuela, so bold face to go there, when she talked, Maduro lift up his hand and he stand up like a water for Kamala. Where he is now. Where he is now. He should come out. Give up. Look how he had his people in Venezuela. Eh? I mean, I see you in Hernandez have pity on people. Yeah? Children have cancer and it's dying, no cancer treatment. I think you and all see it. What was the condition of Venezuela? A rich country with gold, Trinidad a country with oil and pitch. And look at me here. Eh? Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, we all do have opinions, and it's very interesting to hear the opinion of our callers. Whatever Dr. Rowley would have said, I think he still do have, he was the Prime Minister of the country, so he may have some knowledge of some of the things that are happening, and he may have an opinion too. So I wouldn't say that he should stay out of it. Sometimes we do say, and even on this program, that sometimes they don't, based on what they talk about, they don't have a moral authority to speak. But yeah, they are the feeling side, and they could bowl too. So let me introduce our female umpire.
Good afternoon, everyone. Lovely discussion as usual.
Right. So, as we just moving on from yesterday, and I was just talking about some of the issues as it relates to international news, and you know what's happening in Israel in particular, Gaza in particular, with the 20 people that including 5 journalists that was killed in the bombing. I think what would have happened there was that there was a bomb launched at the hospital, a rocket launched at the hospital by Israel, and Israel didn't deny it. They said yes.
Right.
And then when rescue workers came, journalists and things came, they sent the next bomb to hit them, which I find to be reprehensible.
Of course.
And the world should find so also. But because, I mean, you're just killing innocent people as if they are nothing. But, you know, I just wanted to hear what the public had to say about that before we move on to more other local issues. What is your position on that?
I think, interestingly, I still don't understand how we reached to bombing certain places. I think certain places should be untouchable.
And those places are usually protected under international law. And,
correct. So it'll be interesting to hear what the United Nations has to say about that.
Well, they talk about it all the time. I mean, they had several. Israel was brought to the, not the Security Council, but Israel was brought to the court of International Court of Justice on 3 occasions since this thing has been happening.
And yet this persists.
And decisions were made. Netanyahu was named a war criminal, but his arrest and everything continues to be vetoed by America. So that tells you, and then America military industrial complex really strives of war and you know the allowance of those kind of things to happen. So they too, by extension, I see them too as war criminals. But let me hear what this caller have to say. Good evening, caller.
Good evening. No, good evening, ma'am. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
No, I'm glad you raised that point. That the Israeli president is found guilty of crimes against humanity by the International Criminal Court. And Trump had a meeting with him just after that. But you know what is strange? Is that man has that matter, but he's claiming my neighbor next door has the same matter. Yeah, not so. The reason for those ships coming down is because they said to us, we are going to stop the drugs and guns from traveling to the U.S. But we had Mexico joined up with the Caribbean just recently. I think the summit was held here, where Mexico had an influx of guns and explaining that they are coming from the U.S. And we were stating that the guns that are coming here, most of them are coming in by barrels and coming in through legal ports of entry. And if the American government is able to slow them down from there, so Biden passed a law, and you know what, if you noticed just recently, in America, they had how many, must be 2 or 3 of them, so sending guns back to the Caribbean. I also had, Mr. Manning said to us, hey, we have a problem with Latin America. Because if we remember, if we look at history, I had a man called Oliver North. And if you understand what Oliver North did to Latin America, we would understand that we have a drug problem from Latin America going up the road. And Trinidad and Tobago, we had the biggest drug bust leaving Trinidad and went to Norfolk with Mark Trinidad and Tobago orange juice. So we had the experience. Mr. Manning said to us, I'm going to put some vessels. If you have a problem with the Coast Guard of Trinidad and Tobago we're using, we will use some from St. Vincent, some from Barbados, some from Grenada. The same administration said Mr. Manning was mad. We don't need that. When they got into office, they said the war is on land, not on seas, and canceled OPVs. Today, to me, their crime plan seems to be now, in order to stop the crime in Trinidad and Tobago, we're going along with what Trump. So, what I fought for in 1962 and the 60-something years of independence, I just give it away there. Because our first Prime Minister put the Americans off and got back Chagaramas, we got back Waterfield. And now all of a sudden I have a group of people is inviting these people back. Because in the initial stages when they were in opposition in Trump's first reincarnation, they were supporters of Guaido. So if you're supporting Guaido, that means you were supporting the man who was supporting Guaido to become Prime Minister, President. So this is nothing new. So I ask the question, you use Guyana as a reference. If the Venezuelan president was to touch Guyana, they would give the Americans authority to launch from Trinidad and Tobago. So let's say somebody in Venezuela decided they want the $50 million that is offered and start a revolution in Venezuela. And America decides to invade Venezuela. What is our position there then? And they decide they want to come to launch it because they ain't touch Guyana, you know. Would you give them the option to use Trinidad and Tobago as a launching pad, seeing that you throw that statement? Enjoy the evening.
Those are valid questions that the people of Trinidad and Tobago may want to ponder over. Those are valid concerns also. And as I said, everybody have their opinion on the show. Everybody are free to say what your position is as it relates to international affairs. Good evening, caller.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Matheson and Ms. Simona. I want to apologize to her yesterday. She asked a very pertinent question, and I don't think I responded appropriately. Notwithstanding that, I think you had a good show yesterday in the sense that you were able
We hear you very low, caller. I don't know why.
In the sense that you have been able to draw different or divergent perspectives on the issue. So I think you had a very good show yesterday. Are you hearing me?
I am hearing you, caller.
Yes, I think you had a good show yesterday in the sense that you were able to draw on the different perspectives of the callers. I myself was enlightened, in terms of the contribution by the callers. I think I left the show better off, with a better understanding and appreciation of the issues involved with respect to that Venezuela American issue.
And that's what we like to hear.
And I think, and I must congratulate your program for it, because you have opened it up, and I think that you have this kind of debate on issues within the society as a whole. With respect to Israel, what has happened here is that Israel, I don't know if these people, I think they may have lost their moral compass. And Europe, as a matter of fact, and those 25 members of the EU, they have taken different positions from over time. And that has left or allowed Israel to continue with their, what should I say, evil behavior. I call it evil. Because I cannot see what happened in I think is October on the 7th or whatnot in Israel. The action that is taken, that they are taking against those Palestinians, I am saying that it is disproportionate. It cannot, I don't know if there's a God above, but I'm saying that.
Well, it's not even disproportionate. I mean, one has to ask why did the Hamas and why did they take that action in the first place? I mean, if you look at the years of occupation and how they were, if somebody take you and from your land, put you in a cage, surround you, and say when you get water, when you get everything like in prison, eventually you'll try to get out.
Yeah, but I'm saying, I know for a fact, I accept the fact that what has happened, these people been experiencing what you call apartheid. They lived in Gaza, those people live in an apartheid state. That's for years. Because if we talk about 1948 with the creation of that Palestinian domain there, we know for a fact that they have been discriminated against. We know that they have advantage have been taken against those people. We know that. But I'm saying that even if, because I'm saying that the crisis that we face now, because I'm looking at that as a particular issue, I am saying when the Palestinians and then they would have acted, in fact, with respect to the Israelis, those people who they murdered and who were having some dance or whatever it is, I am saying that the action taken by the Israeli is vastly disproportionate. And I'm saying that Europe has failed to take a stand on it. And even today they are divided. And they themselves also have lost their moral compass. You have Germany, where the people can't even talk and protest against what is going on in Israel, in the Gaza.
That's surprising, eh? That's really surprising.
Well, all right, I mean, because they are the ones who, we know, the Holocaust and all that kind of thing.
That's really surprising.
Right. So you seeing what is happening, and therefore, and they've been supported, these Israelis have been supported by even the previous president, Biden. When Biden talk, he's telling Netanyahu, well, I'm watching your back, I have your back. And by the time you talk about planes going with bombs. The next day you hear how many, maybe billions of dollars.
But you have to remember, Biden was the one who said that if there was not an Israel, we would have to invent one.
But this is it. It all has to do with his ideology. It all has to do with his beliefs and spiritual beliefs and all that kind of thing. And he said he and Netanyahu were good friends for how many years. And remember, Biden was the man who brought Netanyahu into the Congress or the House of Representatives.
Yes.
To chastise and embarrass Obama.
Yes, correct.
So people have to understand, and I'm saying that Trump has exacerbated the situation. But I am saying that Biden and Trump, the same damn thing. Trump might be maybe worse than I can't say, but all I need is the same thing. And I'm saying that unless these people decide, Trump and others and Europe decide to come together to bring this thing to an end, this thing would, the people of Gaza would continue to suffer.
Yeah. I agree with your caller.
I don't want to go on, but some other issue you had there, that came up.
Yeah.
I'll put your call again.
So what? Yes. So we're going to pay some bills shortly.
Yeah.
But right, you'd probably call in the next hour.
All right,
but yeah, it really is something that was happening in the world. I mean, that doesn't sit well with me.
Correct. Yeah.
As a human being.
Yeah.
Because I'm just imagining. I mean, we are a nation that are weak also, probably not diplomatically. But
yeah.
I mean, if that could happen to, then Venezuela could do us that too at some day, because
That's
Venezuela
correct.
is strong militarily. And it's just sad what is allowed to happen by
Correct.
one country, and the same gatekeepers that are saying that who seem to go around the world and talk about peace and what, you know, things that people doing and that kind of thing, drugs and all that kind of thing. You selling them guns.
Yeah.
All the guns coming from there. All the ammunition in the billions. So, you know, it's caller, you are calling back.
We could take it in the next hour.
Maybe we'll take your call in the next hour because we are going for a break now. Yeah, so you know, it's just sad. It's just sad.
There's a lack of a humanitarian perspective.
Yeah, exactly. So I am one of those who would talk and, you know, who would say that, you know, when I see something that doesn't sit well with me, that is wrong, I'd prefer to talk about it. And if you know me,
yeah,
that's how I operate all the time.
Of course.
I'm an underdog kind of guy. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a break to pay some bills, and you will call us when we
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the street. 919 FM.
Join the winning team with Pastor Alkaline John
every Wednesday from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. and every Thursday night from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m.
live on the street 919 FM as he talks about Lviv, the power of 5 fruits, one of the most powerful antioxidant supplements on the market today. The 5 superfruits in Lviv are mangosteen, acai, pomegranate, goji, and nuni. These fruits have a positive and profound impact on human health performance and disease. Join him as he gives live testimonials of the Lviv healing powers. To get more information, you can contact Pastor Alkaline John at 516-286-7079, or you can visit his webpage at www.alkalinejohn.com. Remember,
every Wednesday from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. and every Thursday night from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m.
live on the street 919 FM.
The #1 bookstore in Trinidad is having the biggest back-to-school sale for the holidays.
Shop at Chairman's Bookstore for the biggest back-to-school sale.
All your kindergarten, preschool,
primary, secondary school,
and tertiary education supplies at ridiculously low prices. Chairman's also carries a wide range of sneakers, socks, t-shirts, vests for girls and boys,
and much more items for school. So don't miss Chairman's back-to-school sale.
Now on Eastern Main Road, San Juan, Tunapuna.
2 locations at Twin City Mall, ground level and first level. We're also open on Sundays from 8 a.m. Check us on Facebook for up-to-date info and promotions. Also, message us for a quick response.
If you love summer and you love pizza, then you'll love Pizza Hut's all-you-can-eat summer. Head to the Hut for our big buffet every day. Then simply upload your receipt to our social media pages for a chance to win a PlayStation 5, a 5-island cabana experience for you and 9 friends, and so much more. Check our socials for details. Pizza Hut, now that's delivering.
This Java, get ready to chase the crunch with KFC. Dip it, dunk it, and drip it with our juiciest chicken tenders ever for as low as $29.95.
It's Java, it's summertime. KFC makes it all come alive. Big limestone into big appetite. Hit the beach with KFC. Yeah.
Choose our hot and spicy or extra crispy non-spicy tenders and dip, dunk, and drip into our flavorful sauces, Java style.
To the spice of the summer, let's go.
So, chase the crunch and make Java finger-licking good with KFC.
I love you.
The Trinidad and Tobago Council of Evangelical Churches, together with national cultural icon Mr. William Monroe, presents the first ever national concert of choirs, Divine Harmonies, Saturday, December 6, 2025, at the Grandstand, Queen's Park, Savannah. Choirs will be competing for prize money to the tune of $250,000, with the winner walking away with the grand prize of $100,000. We invite all church choirs nationwide to participate in this spiritual, cultural, and musical richness that will bring upliftment to our nation and redound to the glory of God. Tickets will be available August 15 from Maranatha Bookstore and outlets of the Trinidad and Tobago Council of Evangelical Churches. For more information, information, call 719-9599 or 497-0361. Divine Harmonies, ushering in the glory of God. This is Apostle Anthony Golson, and I'm inviting you to be there.
Miss the biggest price meltdown at Furniture Plus this summer. Shop dining room sets from $15.99, bedroom combos from $20.69, plus free delivery with select living room furniture. Shop the best deals at Furniture Plus today.
Blessings in the wonderful name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. You are invited to listen to the Final Hour broadcast heard every Monday from 12 midnight to 5 a.m. in the morning on The Street 919 FM radio. Hear my mom, Pastor Helen Garcia, and myself, Pastor Valentine Garcia Jr., preach the Word of God to the elderly, youth, and children. We can be contacted at 629-0113 or 623-8444. The church is located at 26 Prince Street in Port of Spain. We look forward to you joining us. God bless you.
As my life I lay it on the altar, as my life.
Ikaro, I am Alatu Michelle Ifaba Michelle Aganki, better known as MC Duke.
And every Monday between the hours of 9 p.m. to midnight,
I host a show called Orisha, The Way of Life, right here on the Street 919 FM, where I have guests passing through from the Orisha Ifa Baptist Diaspora to educate, edify, and inform you, the listening public, about Orisha Ifa practices. So remember to tune in
every Monday between the hours of 9 p.m. to midnight
for Orisha, The Way of Life.
Looking for a preschool for your child? Well, look no further. At Leaping Learners Preschool, we believe that every child deserves a jumpstart to success in a safe and loving environment. We prepare your little ones for primary school while giving them the care and attention they deserve, whether they're 3 or 7 years old. At Leaping Learners Preschool, we cater to children with special needs and provide long hours of care from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. so you can rest easy knowing your child is in good hands. And for our tiniest learners, babies aged 3 months to 2 years, we offer nurturing daycare services to help them grow and thrive. Join the Leaping Learners family today. Find us on Facebook and Instagram at Leaping Learners Preschool or visit our website at leapinglearnerstt.com to learn more. We are located in Barataria. Called 744-1523. That's 744-1523. Your child's future begins with a leap.
Tune in to The Street 919 FM every Friday from 9:15 a.m. to 9:45 a.m. with Kingdom Health Services, situated at number 125 to 186 Eastern Main Road in Tunapuna. For the program, Health and Healing, merging the old with the new, with Mr. Brent Diet. For more information, call 318-7471 or 484-0141 or 360-4100. It's all about Kingdom Health Services on The Street 919 FM.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Yes, we are back, listeners, and again you would have heard what our opening discussion was all about, and you are free to chime in on it. As we would have indicated, we have a lot to discuss outside of those international issues, geopolitical issues, but you can still chime in on the issues we had raised earlier on, and that relates to the massacre of journalists and civilians, innocent people in in Gaza by Israel. So you are free to chime in and have those discussions with us. Let's hear what you have to say. Good evening, caller.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, caller. I'm hearing you.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good evening.
I just wanted to, good evening. Good evening to everyone in Trinidad and Tobago. I wanted to ask a question, right? What documents did the U.S. come and sign a couple months ago when they came to Trinidad under the past administration?
I think
right?
I think there were some agreements to allow for the U.S. to be here to patrol our waters and that kind of. It had to do with you know, allowing the U.S. to patrolling our waters and that kind of thing.
So the past administration, so what's good with that then? Another question I wanted to ask is what's the role and function of the CARICOM, and if something was to happen, would they come to defend Trinidad and Tobago and Guyana, and do they have the capabilities? Thank you so much, sir. You have a blessed evening.
That's a good question. That's a good question. CARICOM, unlike the NATO and as a military alliance, CARICOM is not necessarily a military alliance. We don't have any military in CARICOM, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
We are a little regiment and a little secure national security.
But interestingly, Guyana signed a MOU with the government of Colombia today.
Yes.
So they are starting to get their defenses in order, even with a large military body.
But Colombia did stand up against America in the Caribbean. Colombia did. They were
Colombia,
one of the first
I think government of Mexico as well, they had something to say about the situation.
Yes. So, you know, we just have to watch and see. I mean, some people will say that maybe the Prime Minister should not have jumped out and say what she said, because it's already there, as the first caller would have indicated. There were agreements signed, about 5 of them, sometime around the 10th of December, somewhere there, or renewed agreement. And so it was already there. I mean, America could come, and in fact, America could do anything they wanted in this part of the world. Nobody could really stop them. Right? And they would always find reasons to do it. When they wanted to go into Iraq, nobody could stop them from going into Iraq.
That's when they talk about the weapons of mass destruction.
The UN did say that, hey, listen, you shouldn't go. And they went still. So, I mean, supporting them might just be putting the icing on the cake. I mean, we didn't have to say anything. I mean, that's just my opinion. But, you know, that's how, you know, people see things. So, it is what it is.
And that's how it goes with capitalism.
Oh, I seen a caller calling here. I was going to take this call, but I think, let's take this caller. Yeah. Good evening, caller. Good evening, caller.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Madison and Ms. Moya.
Good afternoon.
Well, let me first say, I always enjoy Mr. Madison and the co-hosts there. You know, you all are very interesting and all kind of things. But I am a person, I heard Smora said that there are supposed to be some places you're not supposed to bomb, right? The way I look at everything is war has been with us since Jesus' time days or whatever days, from way back when till now. And what I don't believe in is war, period. I just don't believe in war, but that's just me. Everybody fight how they want to fight, and that's just me. Because one of the things we're looking at all over the place, but I like to look at Trinidad. Mr. Matheson, let me tell you something. The way I live, I don't know if it's very selfish or not good, not the way people will think you have to live, but the way I live all my life, and that is over 70 years, is I get up and I get up on a morning. Once I get up, and I see the doubles man wrong by the, what they call it there, the gas station. I see people going to work in traffic jam, thousands of cars heading to work. I see people struggling to get their Christmas or the outfits or the carnival or independence, emancipation is being celebrated. Easter and New Year's. Good. Once I look in Trinidad and I get up in the morning and say, oh, right, everything, there is where I know everything is A-OK. With all the wars, with all the whatever, because I'm yet to see a doubles man close down. Right? When we, the favorite one.
You heard in my opening salvo, I spoke about the priests in
yes,
Nazi
yes, they came for, yes, I know that.
You understand the significance of that story?
To me, I understand my way. I don't like to spit, but I think with some crazy.
You ever hear the
but
cliche?
Anyway,
you ever hear the cliche when bad things happen when good men do nothing?
Right. But remember, listen to me. You hear what I said? You're not listening to me. I doing everything every day. I'm doing my thing. One thing I'm not doing is warring, okay? But I do other things, right? As my father always told us from babyhood, the pen is mightier than the sword. And a lot of things that happened in my life.
So you're writing then?
Wait, right. That's what I'm telling you. A lot of things. No, I only bring up this because you said, you know, good things happen, bad things happen when good things. People do things in their own way, right? So it might be to you, I mightn't hold a gun, I mightn't shoot on a place, but I avoided a lot of problems, even for not my problems, it's real people problems, by just penning what they couldn't. And I said, why you have to reach to a pen? I didn't even find I should have to write. And I said, why do I have to reach to writing to get it done? And there was their problem. And I talk about over the years, and nothing now, talking about over the years. But what I'm telling you, when I get up in the morning, I know the world as well, I tell you. That doubles man there, how many years on the gas station and put your bottom dollar if you pass there now, he'll be there. But until I don't see him or I don't hear, Carnival is not here, Christmas is not here, no celebration is not here, then I'll say, okay, you know, and according to that might be my wake-up call.
Yeah,
but
I want to ask you something. Caller, I want to ask you something. I want to engage you while you're online. You know what the show is about, right? The show is a cricket show. So how you find the batsman batting?
The show is.
How you find the batsman batting?
How I find?
The batsman batting. You think the batting, how you find the batting?
Well, remember, I am not in the pavilion. I mean, I'm in pavilion today. But I don't usually watch the match.
Well, I know you're watching the match because you say happy when you get up and you see doubles man. You're watching the match. How you find the batsman batting?
Yes, but you're talking about, you asked me a question about who batting. I'm going now coming to tell you. I'm relaxing with a sip in my hand, a sip of coffee.
So that means the batting good then?
Minding my own business.
So
wait,
that means the batting good then?
I came across the pavilion.
That means the batting good?
I came across to your pavilion to line with you. I just came across with you, and I don't know. I haven't watched the match.
Oh,
I'm not, you know, I'm not one of those people who partake in the match as such. But I enjoy it when I see results.
Okay,
you see, like I'll be in the pavilion in Parliament when Parliament starts, or when people open their mouth, when the cricketers, the battles or whatever it is, start to, you know, show me anything. But remember, I don't go to matches, so I have
but
to
you,
see.
You watch everything.
Tests.
I mean, you know everything. You're in the know. Yeah, I mean, you must know if the batsman batting good, or if you feel your batsman batting good, or them batting so good, or the bowlers bowling real good. What do you think about the bowlers in this game?
No, well, okay. Now, you see, I don't like my opinion, because my opinion, I like to listen to the
well, that's what we wanted to join us for, to give us your opinion.
But my opinion, right, but my opinion is the bowlers, to me, I haven't seen any bowlers yet. I think they're still discussing on the grounds, right?
So
At
they're
least
just
that's
quiet.
the way I look at it.
They're bowling. They're just getting runs then. they're just.
They're not.
They're
They're
just.
not
They're just bowling cap
bowling,
then.
period. They're not bowling. You know, like when I don't know if it's tea time. I don't know. They are always on tea time or stop for rain. Okay, but that's just my opinion. No, then people can have. And bats people, the batmen are waiting anxiously to pelt the hundreds and do the thing. Because one thing I have is confidence in the batting side. Okay? That's
okay, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Good evening, caller.
Hey, that was my thing I said.
Because one thing I have is confidence in.
Turn on your radio, caller. Yeah. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Good evening to the umpires.
Yeah, good evening.
I need to find out a few things, and at the same time I'll make a comment about 3 or 4 issues. In the early years, you're a religious guy by chance?
I didn't hear you.
Are you a religious person?
Yeah, I believe in God, yes.
Okay. So in the early years, when Ishmael was banished and Isaac became the prince or the king after Abraham, he followed the teachings of his father Abraham. Now, had Ishmael remained as the prince or the king then, would he not follow the teachings of his father Abraham? And what would he be today? Would he be Muslim or would he be Christian?
A question you asking me?
Yeah, a question I ask you.
I don't know. Maybe ask the question again. The female umpire might be able to answer that.
Well, you see, this is why as I'm looking at you on television, I realize that I'm not interested in what I'm saying.
No. We are interested in every contribution. So you carry on. I'm listening to you. I don't. I mean,
let me just
in order for me to have a conversation, you had to respond, and I had to respond also. Sorry, I hear you.
I said okay.
All right. So I am saying to you, that if Ishmael had remained on the throne, he would have been following his father, which was Abraham, and more than likely he would have been Christian. Do you agree with that?
I agree.
Okay. So now we deal with Israel. Now you are saying, or you said earlier, that how they are killing journalists. Do you feel that Israel are targeting journalists wherever they are?
If we feel that Israel is targeted. Now, your audio just sounds a little strange, which is why sometimes we're asking you to repeat. So please don't be offended. We're just trying to understand for clarity.
Okay. You hear me better now?
It's a little bit better. But what are you saying? You're talking about the whole situation with Ishmael and Isaac branching off into 2 religious communities that we know of now. Yes?
Good. So what I'm saying is that if Ishmael was on the throne and was listening to his father, there was a strong possibility that he would have been Christian and not Muslim.
We would assume if that is the direction you're going, yes, based on the lineage.
But tell us what you think now. Tell us what is your opinion and what is your feeling.
No. You see, this is where the Israeli war begins.
Mm-hmm.
The separate. So that's what he's saying, based on the religious beliefs.
So based on the war that is there, that is going on. You said in the beginning that a lot of journalists are dying wherever they are, whether they are in hospitals, in schools. So I am asking the question: Do you believe that Israel is deliberately targeting journalists?
Yes.
Okay. Now, in that case, so if the journalists are there with the enemy, what do you do?
Well, the journalists doing what journalists do.
So, Paul, are you saying it's a threat?
The journalists doing what journalists. What does journalists do? They go on and where the news worthiness is and try to report the news.
Okay, I accept it now that you say they're targeting journalists, and we're working that way. Now you also said that they were more
and Israel has time and time again denounced that. They I don't know if they know about the embargo they put on Al Jazeera and certain news organizations reporting in those places.
So, they wouldn't say that they deliberately kill journalists. They will make a defense.
I didn't hear what you say clearly. But
I said they wouldn't deliberately say that they kill journalists. They will make a defense.
Well, they wouldn't say that they wouldn't say they deliberately targeting them, but it's clear to everybody to see. I mean, 200 of them just killed just like that.
Yeah, that been a given now.
And you're banning, journalists, even foreign journalists from going into Gaza to film what's going on.
I am listening to the empires and I'm going along with the decision of the empires. So now, there is a killing, you say, of over 50,000 plus people has died in that Gaza Strip already. Not so?
More than 3/4 of them women and children.
Good. Now, there's the other side of Hamas. Who can make a difference? Is Hamas doing anything to change that?
Well, you tell us what Hamas should do to change it.
No,
let's hear your opinion. Listen, we're not in school here, you know. We are learned people. So you tell us what is your opinion, how you feel about it, how you feel about what we say.
Well, I am of the view that Hamas should be in a position to make a decision, to negotiate, to do things, to quell the war. But what are they doing?
And my position is, what you are asking Hamas to do is to give up and die, and you take over, That's what. Have you seen? Yeah, have you seen the agreement? What Israel is asking for?
No, if that be the case for Hamas to give up and die, how many is Hamas and how many is 50,000 plus? Which is the greater one? I hear you. I hear you.
No, you tell us. You are the one. You tell us, and we will tell you if you're right or wrong.
No, this is what I say. There must be a mechanism by which they can negotiate now to end that situation. It's a give and take situation. And that's just my view.
And how they have?
So another issue.
And why they're not doing it?
Well, I am asking the same question. Why they're not doing it?
Well, they're not doing it. They're not doing it because the people.
It's supposed to be balanced. I am saying it's supposed to be balanced for both sides to come to the table and do something that would make a difference and trash out an agreement. It wouldn't happen overnight. It will take a while to happen. But there would be a peace situation while that is being worked out. Be that as it may. Let me ask another question. If they were to remove Israel from where they are, all the Israelis, and let me say locate them in America, and they hand over the whole of Israel and that area to the people of that area, to the Gaza and everybody across the area, do you think that there will be peace out there?
I can't see that. I don't know. They didn't do it.
No,
but they didn't do it, so we can't say that.
Let me come local. Because the issue here now is Israel is the problem there. But we're moving past that. Let me come local. America.
Let me ask you something, Kola, before you go local.
Yeah.
The West Bank and all those areas there, who is the owner of it?
Human beings.
Huh? Human beings.
Human beings.
All right, thank you, Kola.
Yeah, no. In recovering local now, America put sanctions on Venezuela for no reason. And somehow, they decide they want to remove the sanctions now, but they cannot work with Maduro based on his policies. And if the regime were to change, there might be a strong probability or possibility that the scenario in the Caribbean will change, and now we'll be able to move freer and more comfortable if everybody is working in harmony, and the Caribbean will benefit from it. You think that is a possibility?
But what is America's role in that? Who give America the right to say that I could put sanctions on you for what?
No, everybody, every country throughout the world is involved in business. It's about dollars and cents. You know that, I know that.
Right. But if I don't want to do business with you, if I want to drill my oil and keep it for myself and keep my business from a trade with whoever I want, why is this a problem?
Good, so I put sanctions on you. You don't have to deal with me. You have to deal with me at all. But the world has given America the right to function as the world police.
Right,
you know that. I know that.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, you want to hear the truth?
Go ahead. I'm listening to you. The world give them the authority to be world police. It's about charter on
they are against them. Otherwise, they would gang up and move out of America from that post.
And that's
right or wrong?
Okay.
Right, so now I am asking now, would there be peace and would there be better trade in the Caribbean? If no, let me assume Maduro is changed and everything is working the way America wants it to work. Would there be peace and harmony in the area?
Well, wouldn't there peace and harmony all the time?
No, they're not, because
before America start having problems with Venezuela because of Venezuela policy like Libya, wouldn't there peace?
No, I put it a little different. America put sanctions on Venezuela for no reason.
Okay. So before they put sanctions, before America put sanctions on Venezuela, so you're agreeing with everybody who says that what's happening in Venezuela?
Yes, I'm saying that.
What's happening in Venezuela is because of America?
I'm saying America is the bad guy, is the bully. So America is deciding to remove the sanctions now, but they cannot work with Maduro.
Really?
So I'm saying if that regime changes now and things happen different, would there be peace and harmony in the area? Because the tension between Venezuela and America, not us.
We don't know that. I don't know that.
Well, it is in the open. Now, the last thing now. The last thing I want to tell you. Now, the reason why we had a little issue yesterday.
If America removes sanctions, they will want something, and that is they will want the people oil.
Correct. But this is what I just say. They cannot work with Maduro. So if they remove Maduro, they might find somebody that they can function better with.
To give away Venezuela to them.
Well, whether we give away, take away, whatever, anyhow you want to put it,
it's the same thing. The people fighting for the rights. The people fighting for their own existentiality.
The regime decided, because here what happened yesterday. Our Prime Minister made a statement, and she supported America and offered Trinidad and Tobago, and everybody was against that, and she in charge. Maduro is in charge over there. That doesn't mean to say everybody is in agreement with Maduro. But we ain't going to get into that. My issue now with our Prime Minister is this. She made a statement, and everybody else is making statement, but somehow she doesn't have the right to say what she say. Everybody wants to tell her what she should say, how she should say it, when and why.
Well, we didn't
and
say,
this is where the problem comes.
We here didn't say she doesn't have a right to say it. We here didn't say that at all. We opened the show saying what our opinion is, and persons will have voiced their opinion. Right? So, everybody has their opinion, just like you have your opinion.
So what you're saying, in other words, if you're saying you didn't like how she said and what she said, what are you saying then?
We said we would have indicated that maybe, she did not have the need to say it.
She is an authority to say what she wants.
We didn't say she doesn't have the authority to say that. We didn't say that. We said maybe diplomatically she should not have said it. Maybe she didn't need to say it. That's what we said.
Hold on. Yeah, are you entitled to your views?
Yes, I am, and you are entitled to yours too.
So is the Prime Minister entitled to hers?
I didn't hear you.
Is the Prime Minister entitled to her views?
Yes, she is. But she speaks for the country.
So then what's the issue?
But she speaks for the country.
Yeah, but we elected her for that.
Okay, I understand. Yeah, so let me continue the show now. This discussion was going around in a circle. I mean, we said what we had to say yesterday. Callers who called in said what they had to say, and we respect that. We respect everybody. We respect what the Prime Minister said and all. Right? So this is our open show. Yeah. So the point of my thesis all the time is that at the end of this, at the elephant in the room here, in my opinion, is a bully.
Absolutely.
Right? And the world, somebody has to stand up and say, this is a bully. This is the bully that is causing all the problems. Right? Not who you're looking at. Who you're looking at really are proxies to the situation. Let's take this call. Good evening.
Good evening. Hey, good afternoon, Empire. Good afternoon to young lady there.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Any Prime Minister by 18th? She can say what she wants, but in fact what she say, some going to agree, some going to agree. But really and truly, we dealing with one of the world's biggest bully, and the United States of America. Not so, right?
Yeah, that's our opinion.
Yeah, everybody, the world of America is a bully, and they like to put allegation and running per country for the resources and all that kind of thing.
But they have said
nobody wins that war.
They have said it. They have said it time and time. That's how they operate. They don't hide that.
Yeah.
They started with the Monroe Doctrine. In Cuba, what's happened in Cuba, then you had the Platt Amendment. All over the world, Henry Kissinger, all of them would have said that, that's their modus operandi. That's how they remain a hegemon. To bully other countries, to take what they want, that kind of thing. That's how America. But the world over, in the history of the world, I mean, America is not the first nation. Before you had Britain, you had Rome. You had other places who would have done the same thing.
Look at the crisis. Look at the crisis going in Haiti right now.
Yeah.
They sending troops down there.
Correct. Because Haiti and
so Venezuela now the back line actually saying the man that a drug terrorist, he bring guns and all them kind of thing. And if you slap an allegation with America, It's very serious. What will you go to buy? You gotta watch and see what's going on.
We could only talk. We could only talk at this time.
We could only talk. But we can't stop nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Bless that love.
Thank you. What about the drug find? As a matter of fact, they found about $473 million worth of cocaine and marijuana.
Where?
Well, that's what is not being stated. I didn't see where, but that is what's coming out now, that the U.S. Coast Guard would have made a drug bust in that amount. And some people are saying, how convenient.
Well, this is what I'm saying.
How convenient.
I mean, people are like, if you're saying something, you remember when they went into Iraq?
Yep. But they didn't find not a firecracker.
Saddam had weapons of mass destruction.
They didn't even find a firecracker or a starlight.
Years after. The very people who were supporting it are saying, but there was no weapons of mass destruction. Nothing like that took place. And they wanted America. Trump was one of them who was boasting that we went and take the oil. Good evening, caller.
Hey, good evening, Empires. Good evening, Mr. Matheson. Good evening, Samuel. How are you guys doing today?
Yes, good. Well, thank you.
Yeah, well, I disagree with our last caller. Didn't you remember the earthquake? And who lent the most support to Haiti? Who took in the most migration to the country? Not America? So, you see, history is a thing you have to learn. You're making allegations on one hand, but you didn't know the history with that. America gave the most aid. America was giving the most aid to the world. Africa all over is when this man coming power here now.
In theory, that's what the caller was saying. I mean, the caller was saying that while America might be seen as the world police, as they do a lot of good, that's what he's saying. So you are saying the same thing that he is saying. We, on the other hand, is saying that you can't kill cancer with cancer.
No, but I agree with you, Mr. Madison. But look, you see, we have to look at the overall picture. The world economy is in crisis. And when America dropped all these tariffs,
you mean America economy is in crisis? So by extension, the world economy is in crisis.
In crisis, right. And, with these companies with investment, it becomes dicey. You don't know what to expect. So they have to look for alternative ways to get trade and investment in the country.
And one of the ways is to cause war, so that you're supposed to build up your military industrial complex. You have people working, you get more money, you sell more planes, you sell more bombs. I mean, everybody's seeing that. That's not hard to figure out.
Well, exactly. And you see, at the end of the day, if Trinidad, let me analyze it in this way, right? If Trinidad wasn't so close to America and Venezuela, do you think we would have been having this conversation?
Well, I don't know if Trinidad would have been having it, but I certainly would have been having it.
Yes, well, right, because you as a person, you're a person, you deal with a lot of international people, so you have to be abreast. But what I'm saying, when this war with Ukraine and Russia, we didn't take a stance, but when the guy get his knee in America, the African guy, we come out with Black Lives Matter. So you see the hypocrisy in people. And now and this is what Trinidad people cannot make up their mind, and so that is my point of view. But I want to talk about the situation in Trinidad where they move these prisoners and they still get access to telephones and information and sending threats out to people. How much money we spend on how they call it, Ministry of Defense for the year in the budget?
Well, listen, let me explain something. Corruption in Trinidad and Tobago is an institution. And this, again, is my opinion, but I have a lot of data to support that. Corruption in Trinidad and Tobago is an institution. So it is not hard for the underworld to communicate or form alliance with the National Security Network and people in national prisons and police and all that kind of thing, because there's always something to be had, something to get from it.
Yeah.
So though by any stretch of the imagination think that what has happened can happen in Trinidad, that could happen.
All right. Yeah? And so I want
Trinidad is not necessarily where you are, right? you are Trinidadian, but you in Miami. Trinidad is not necessarily like that. Trinidad is, you don't have the kind of checks and balances, the kind of networks, the kind of security apparatus that might be available there, that not here. Although we may have had the resources to be able to access that, if it come, it will be destroyed anyway, because in a lot of ways, the guards, you put the guards who to guard the situation need somebody to guard them, and they don't have that. So you have a problem where you'll always have corruption here, always, right? And it's just that unless we fix certain things, unless we do certain things that are critically important to the country, it will always happen.
Yeah,
and it will continue to happen.
Yes, exactly. And before I leave, so I want people to understand the world economy. No country, there's 5 countries, I think, right now, who is the one who controlling this world? America, China, Brazil, Russia, India.
Right.
Right? And none of them want war. There's a game they call chicken, when one car park up in the other side and the other car park up in the other side, and see who coming out of the road first before they make the head-on collision. So there's a lot of bluffing and a lot of things like that, because let me tell you something, any war in this world right now will be detrimental to any superpower country. And you could see Russia has it with them right now.
Well, Russia is not necessarily detrimental to Russia. Ukraine is detrimental to Ukraine. Ukraine is a proxy, right?
Yeah.
Ukraine is a proxy in this whole war because it's not Ukraine that is fighting Russia. It's America and Europe that is fighting Russia.
Right? Yeah, and because let me tell you something, Mr. Matheson. Before that war in Russia and Ukraine, the cost of living in Russia was very cheap now.
Right, and things get much better now. Things get much better now.
No, because now start to develop back. Yeah.
Right, because Russia. I mean, if you look at the index for the growth index, you would see Russia has grown faster than they were growing before the war. And that is because Russia is now in full war economy mode, and there are countries that are supporting Russia, and the countries that have the resources to do so. Countries that would not have supported Russia before is supporting Russia.
And probably maybe how America lift the sanctions.
India is now buying more oil from Russia than they have ever bought before.
But you know, America released some of the sanctions on Russia also, right?
Well, they had to. It would have hurt them.
Yeah.
It would have hurt America if they kept it.
Yeah, it's true. Let me look on the scene and let me listen to the rest of the caller. I hope, Mr. Matheson, before I leave, you know that caller who talk more religion, you should have asked him where the first sin ever took place. The first sin.
Well, I don't like to talk about religion because I have certain beliefs. I have an umpire here who have certain beliefs that might be divergent to mine, and what we reading and what we telling is saying thinking is what it's supposed to be is probably written or a manual written by somebody to rule us.
Yeah, but the first thing ever happened was in heaven. That's why it had the fallen angels.
Well, I don't know about that.
Mr. Matheson, I'll stay you on the side of caution with that comment.
Yeah. All right, guys. Look on.
Take care. Good evening, caller. Good evening, caller.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Afternoon, yes, afternoon. So,
well, I don't know if we rewrite in history, but I cannot remember independence being an Indian celebration. And I do not know if the Nagar is a safer location than the Savannah. Because so it's boggling my mind as to if we can protect that area much better when the access to that is multiple. And you're kind of boxed in a certain way. And there are no protective agencies to safeguard, no helicopter, no Coast Guard, no army, no police.
Well,
so
in all fairness to the government, they would have said instead of the Independence Day celebration, they would have a day of prayer and, deep introspection and thinking. So, and they did say, if you want to gather and pray and, you could do that. So,
I understand that.
So, I am sure maybe that is what they envisaged for.
But more importantly, caller, the government would have stated that that's not a state-funded event. There were financiers that came together to put on this celebration.
That is not my concern. Because
you're talking about the importance of
day as well as the President by Moody, Prime Minister Moody, was already financed and catered for, budgeted by the PLM government. I don't know if people think that because the UNC came into power, Moody just jump up and say, okay, I'll visit them today. So, a prime ministerial visit, governmental visit, take months to coordinate and organize.
Okay.
So that was their implant and finance before their training. But again, as normal,
they knew Moody was coming before, and but why there was so much disquiet about Moody coming when he came?
That was ignorant people who had a problem.
By them?
Ignorant people had a problem because they did not understand how government works. So they believed that the UNC, because the thing is, the UNC claimed it. And this is what the people thought. But the facts remain that these things were financed beforehand. Just as the Independence Day parade. So I want to know what you're doing with that extra money.
So why PNM didn't finance the payment of payments for MTS workers before they leave, rather than talk now?
I mean, finance before they leave.
Why
they
didn't
finance
that? Why the Owens how much millions? I think it's $300-400 million to MTS.
Well, they didn't have a chance to finish it.
And today MTS workers are being paid not being paid on time and that kind of thing. Why, if Moody visits
now you have to understand what takes place in the ministries, right? The government sends the money, and this has been so for ages. Since in the days when I worked URP for a time, the government sends out the checks to the ministry. The ministry, and this is something someone told me, that's the CFC. When it reaches there, it has to invite to go to the municipalities. By the time it reaches them, some takes away. So it sends less to those different areas. When it reaches in those areas, you have to sell it to the gang. Again, some is minus at those locations.
So
and then
you're saying that could be the reason why.
Well, no. What is happening, like with URP workers, why it reaching late, is because you have to understand the people that are there right now. They are supporters of the UNC.
Nah,
so the main thing is to cause control. So they will. Let me check.
I don't believe that.
The special papers.
I don't believe that. The people, you say the people in URP right now is UNC people?
You have no idea of how government working and how ministry is. You must walk into the ministry, anyone, and tell me what you see. 80% are UNC supporters.
How you know that? How you know that? I don't understand that. So all of a sudden,
if you want
what is it saying? So what is it saying? Before it was what? It was 80% PNM supporters?
Listen, since the time when it was the Beach High School report disappeared, we know what was going on. You can want to bury your head in the sand, it ain't going to change nothing. Alright? Don't play smart with foolishness.
Alright.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you really hear some kind of weird analysis. But good evening, caller.
Yeah, good evening. You know, sometimes I think about not engaging in any program on the radio. But when I hear people like your last caller, with all due respect, I'm tempted because I realize that over the years, you know, the radio was closed as a closed kind of, you know, arrangement. People couldn't call as they want and say where they want. But it has opened up largely over the last couple of years. And the propaganda. You know, I heard about this their prayer. And I hear it all over the place around platform and all that kind of thing. I thought that it was the government who organized that. But I heard the IRO, the head of the IRO, they are the people responsible for that. They are the one who are when I heard them today, I heard it on the news today, where with respect to the whole business of the affair, that they are the ones. So when they talk about the Wali Naga, there's a racial undertone to that.
Correct.
And then he moves to Moody and all. And what they are accustomed saying is that we had this in the pipeline, that we were going to do this. So the fact remains is that everything that the government, and that has been in the past, and that is their, what you call modus operandi. That is how they operate. There's a trend. That is how they do things. That's a pattern.
And that's unfortunate.
Yes,
because if he is saying that, then, you know, then they should have money to pay the MTS workers in the way that he...
But all that, I mean, if you apply the logic, because you applied it quite right, because there are a number of things that are left unattended, right? And another thing I want to talk about, because I hear them all over the place talking about that when you talk about propaganda. The question of this OPV. That OPV, yes, but let's say that they had the OPV.
That will not be operational all now?
It could not, because in fact what happened, you had 13 vessels there, pack up there, you couldn't buy fuel for them.
Exactly.
So you could, you know much fuel that OPV would take?
That would have reached the first maintenance and would have be packed up.
Let me tell you something. In the around 1987, 88, the NER bought a boat called the Nelson, and that Nelson pack up on the. You must diesel using amount over $5 million in the other shoulder that side. So we should talk about OPV. Those vessels, you could buy fuel for them then. They could buy fuel for that. They could have people on the sea for how many days, 7 or 2 weeks, to buy food, to buy for maintenance, to do all these different things on those boats. Well, I mean, what? These people could fool everybody. What would have been our situation? What would have been the situation with those vessels? They would have been just like the 13 that they had down there.
I tell you, they'd have reached the first maintenance and they'd have been packed up.
But that's it, and all they're about is trying to bamboozle people, try to manipulate the minds of people. That is all they're about. And it's sickening. Sometimes I just feel like, let me stay away, but I'm saying what keeps me here is the fact is that these people must not be able, because this country has been kept in darkness for too long. And therefore some people have to stand up and put things right. Stand up and say it as it is. Stand up and let the people know what is right and what is wrong. Help them in their critical thinking. Help them. All these things they need, because they're all about country. I heard propaganda, and I saw a tape where somebody telling some people, Eric Williams saying in 19-something, I think that happened. I don't know if the video is correct, or whether it's truthful, whether it's AI, but what the person is telling them that Eric Williams told them in the 1990s, in the 1960s, before he told them every one of the members of the PNM must be a propagandist. And they're proud with that. They don't even understand. Anybody could tell me that I have to be a Joseph Goebbels, and they're happy with that, and they're going all about the place, right? Only with propaganda. And you're going to take too much of your time. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Bola. Yeah, it's just unfortunate. You know, sometimes I mean, it happens all over the world. I mean, when you look at what would have, hey, Mr. President, but no longer I hear this man, boy. Mr. President.
Yeah, man, good afternoon.
How you going?
Good afternoon, Sister Simola.
Good afternoon.
Right, and good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. Well, good afternoon, God, too. And you know the program going on down here, so we're looking to get some answers, so who shall have God? So see if you could get them somewhere. Right, so, I know all you're talking there, and I know the thing quite across in the Caribbean, they wanted a big ship. That's a big thing we're going through here. In the Caribbean nowadays, what's the worry oil and the gas and all where they could get from Venezuela? They could say where they want. We see enough in the world already to know. Why they don't want to fight Russia? I mean, they ain't going to fight Russia, so they tell Ukraine, hey, you will spend time with Russia, you know, better you hold off there because you lost 20%, you lost 80%. So they ain't going to interfere with Russia thing. You know, they coming down in the Caribbean because they can't get the oil and thing from Russia and all kind of thing up there. And the UN go want a little piece. I think a part of Germany go want a little piece. They have to fix it up and see how they could get all the European nations and everything. So Venezuela is the scapegoat here now. So they send everything down here. Now you watch the history. All the big stories, they want to give common sense, have a way that guide you to a story, and who want to make 1,000,000 words with the story. Well, so sorry, I only making it with about 100 words.
Mr. President.
Yeah, partner.
Mr. President.
Yes, sir.
What amazes me is, you know, they are saying that the drug interdiction, but you sending warships, you sending. It's like you're sending a hammer to kill a mosquito.
Vietnam now.
Right?
Not a Vietnam thing.
You are aircraft carriers, all kind of thing.
Yeah. For some,
so what?
For some illicit drugs.
For illicit drugs? Yeah, and you're not in Mexico?
Yeah. But
where all the drugs coming to here from?
Yeah, but where all the guns coming from?
Eh?
So nobody running in by America to find all the guns and them there, and who and the guns and them that roaming all about the place.
People just had to be thinking, boy. I mean, but
yeah, we have to see, we have to understand what's going on. But the part I would jump in for too is that when we, Mr. West, use a certain situation, they just not like to climb on that because. In truth, we have a society where no politics in many respects. We ain't know the governance of the place, nothing. In a sense, what we really is just, what we realize just consumers of a lot of things. We've been talking that here already. Nobody is using their own mind thinking to able to create, to create industries. All we come out to do is to learn to work in industries.
Mm-hmm.
So if we see that, we don't know where we are. But you see, if we leave the society to be fragile, fragmented, separated, then we will go nowhere. So when Mr. West says something, there's no out of the people.
Paula, we have to take a break now, right? To pay some bills. So we come back just now.
Yeah.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the street 919 FM.
The island is buzzing with news of big savings at Sharon's Bookstore, as our back-to-school sale is now happening at all 3 of our locations. We have great deals on everything you need, from school books, sneakers, backpacks, uniforms, stationery, and accessories to so much more. Whether your little one is starting kindergarten, heading to primary, secondary, or private school, or even taking theory, we've got you covered here at Sharon's. So why wait? Come on down and let us help you get ready for school. Our friendly team is waiting for you now at our locations on the Eastern Main Road in San Juan, the Eastern Main Road in Tunapuna, and on levels 1 and 2 of Trincity Mall in Trincity. Sharon's Bookstore is proud to be your local one. Stop shop for all things back to school, helping you with style, savings, and everything school-related all under one roof.
I love you. The Trinidad and Tobago Council of Evangelical Churches, together with national cultural icon Mr. William Monroe, presents the first ever national concert of choirs, Divine Harmonies, Saturday, December 6, 2025, at the Grandstand, Queen's Park Savannah. Choirs will be competing for prize money to the tune of $250,000, with the winner walking away with the grand prize of $100,000. We invite all church choirs nationwide to participate in this spiritual, cultural, and musical richness that will bring upliftment to our nation and redound to the glory of God. Tickets will be available August 15 from Maranatha Bookstore and outlets of the Trinidad and Tobago Council of Evangelical Churches. For more information, call 719-9599 or 497-0361. Divine Harmonies, ushering in the glory of God. This is Apostle Anthony Golson, and I'm inviting you to be there.
This Java, get ready to chase the crunch with KFC. Dip it, dunk it, and drip it with our juiciest chicken tenders ever for as low as $29.95.
It's Java, it's summertime. KFC makes it all come alive. Big limestone into big appetite. It's the beach with KFC. Yeah.
Choose our hot and spicy or extra crispy non-spicy tenders and dip, dunk, and drip into our flavorful sauces, Java style.
To the spice of the summer, let's go.
So, chase the crunch and make Java finger-licking good with KFC.
The Street 919 FM is here to help our community. We know that back-to-school season can be a financial strain, so we're giving back with our Each One Help One Part 2 giveaway. We're giving away one $500 voucher for back-to-school supplies and plenty of consolation prizes. Here's how to enter. Every day at 3 p.m. after the ads, we'll take our first 3 callers. You must start your call with the special access phrase, each one, help one, part 2. To be eligible, nominate someone in need by giving us their name. We will draw the winners live on Tuesday, September 2nd at 3 p.m. on our Facebook and YouTube pages. Get ready to call and help us make a difference.
Coach, yes coach, are you passionate about serving others and supporting people as they reach the highest version of themselves? My name is Jesse McBarrow and I've been able to earn a living as a life coach serving people all around the world, and so can you. Are you ready to be internationally certified? Enroll today for this program and learn everything that you need to know about being a professional life coach. Listen, there are payment plans available as well too, so see you in class.
For registration, contact the Institute of Health and Fitness at 336-4935.
The Gap Man Limited specializes in products that cater to all your health needs. The Male Enhancement Package targets the areas of the body that contribute to erectile dysfunction. The Male Enhancement costs $1,400. The Gap pills are priced at 250 pills for $500 and 500 pills for just $900. For the best in eye care, get the super combination of a Super Bright and the Body Healer. To improve the heart's function and circulation, get the Gap pills and Formula C. To get a total body cleanse daily, use the Gap Body Healer and Big C, all for a super low price of $1,300. To order your products from the Gap Man Limited, call 628-4531 for products that cater to all your health needs.
For more info, contact 476-7268.
Planning your Tobago getaway? Choose the highest Google-rated car rental company on the island, O'Neill Auto Rentals Tobago. Located just minutes from the A&R Robinson International Airport, at O'Neill, we pride ourselves on being the most tech-savvy car rental company in Tobago. Our process is 100% digital. No paperwork, no long lines. From easy pickup to seamless returns, renting a car in Tobago has never been simpler. WhatsApp us now at 1-868-361-1042 to book your vehicle. Don't forget to mention promo code RADIO2 to receive a 5% discount on your rental. Send a WhatsApp message to 1-868-361-1042 today. That's 1-868-361-1042. O'Neill Auto Rentals Tobago, the easiest, most reliable car rental experience on the island.
Vehicle availability is subject to change. Driver must be at least 25 years old and have a valid driver's license to book. For more information, visit www.rentalcartobago.com.
Light up your weekends at Vibes Nightclub, Tobago's hottest spot. 3 epic nights of music and energy await every Thursday. Karaoke Thursdays. Kick off at 8 p.m. with free entry. Grab the mic, unleash your inner star, and sing all night. Beers on special for $10, 2 Campari for $25, and giveaways for the best singers. Every Friday, Limers Fridays. Kick off at 8 p.m. with free entry. Vibes with your crew and enjoy beers on special for $10, 2 Campari for $25, and 2 White Oak for $25. Every Saturday, Raw Saturdays. Everything goes, nothing but good vibes. Free entry and an all-star DJ cast to bring the vibes. Vibes Nightclub is where Tobago shines. Join us Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for music, fun, and unforgettable nights. Don't miss out. Your weekend starts at Vibes.
Are you tired of scratching the surface? Do you want to understand the real forces shaping Trinidad and Tobago? From the delicate dance of our energy sector on the global stage to the geopolitical shadows behind the crime affecting our streets, we dig deeper. The third umpire goes beyond the headlines. We connect the dots between local challenges and the international currents that truly impact your life, your wallet, your security. Join Stephen Matheson, Selvin Mitchell, and Ronaldo Rollux, 3 employment law and human resource management consulting professionals, as they unpack the complexities, analyze the power plays, and reveal the often hidden realities. Understand the game. Understand your role in it. The third umpire, critically analyzing Trinidad and Tobago's economic and political realities on how they affect your daily lives. Tune in Monday to Friday at 4 p.m. on The Street 919 FM. Don't just listen to the news. Understand it.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Yes, and listeners, we are back. The third umpires. Today, it's just two of us in the station, and yeah, we're here to bring you the issues. We talk a lot about international affairs and geopolitics. This last segment, we usually talk a little bit about HR because we know people want to hear issues, and we see something trending. There's something trending.
Yeah. So we recently saw that there was a fight that apparently took place in Gulf City at an unnamed fast food restaurant. This is a matter of fact, it's not the first time I'm seeing something like this that's coming up in social media. And so yesterday we were talking about certain scenarios that allows for tribunals. And this form of physical altercation is one of them. Because as Stephen was saying, it goes to the root of your contract. You know, so fighting in the organization, how does this thing arise? A lot of times, now first of all, we have a culture here in Trinidad, probably by extension the Caribbean.
Yes,
we don't take disrespect from anybody.
What is disrespect?
And that, of course, we're going to come to that. But the issue is here that there was a lack of restraint on both ends. And sometimes if it's not physical fights, we see in the organization people get into shouting matches. We saw a video like that recently where a woman was shouting at a man that appears to be her supervisor out of frustration, etc. But we have a lot of issues in the workplace that brings about this level of aggression. Needless to say, all right.
Yeah, well.
Mr. Mitchell is in the building. Needless to say, fighting is a big no. It's a huge no. It's something that should be happening at all.
Yeah. Fighting is one of the things that goes to the root of the employment contract. And sometimes some people would say, well, maybe the two people that engaged in the fight, maybe you should fire the both of them, but usually it's something you would have to investigate,
Correct.
of course.
Correct.
And if the two would have been the enabling participants, then both of them could be terminated.
Correct.
Especially if sometimes it happened in view of your customers and that kind of thing.
That is bringing the company into disrepute.
Bringing the company into disrepute in a significant way, and those are things that one should consider seriously. You should try to avoid. I mean, if somebody's doing you something in the workplace that becomes a problem, and if you think you can't handle it, maybe you should report it, or you should bring it to the attention of your supervisor, that kind of thing, and let them deal with it in that way. But before we go forward, we had one of our umpires missing in action for quite a while. Missing in action for quite a while. And today he graced us. He's back on the show.
Yeah.
We hope for good.
Yeah. Well, I never left, but I tried as much as possible to leave San Fernando to reach down here earlier. But I mean, being a law-abiding citizen, I drive within the speed limit and so forth. But I'm trying to gauge the time.
And strangely, I was in San Fernando today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did a tribunal in South today, and then I went to our next meeting in Couva. So yeah, I was down in that side. The traffic is so bad, but coming up.
It's so bad, but I had to gauge the time to reach. For 4, what time you have to leave, the best time, and so forth. Yeah. So.
But we're glad to have you here, man. You're here you're still here for, wow. You're still here for our next hour.
A solid hour.
Which is good, that's great.
Excellent.
So,
excellent.
So we spoke a lot this evening. I don't know if
I listened coming down.
People had, for instance, yesterday we talking about, we talk a lot about geopolitical issues, how it affects Trinidad and Tobago. Yesterday we was closer to Trinidad because we talk about the Venezuelan situation, and you know, today we went a little further away. We talk about what's happening in Gaza. We just wanted to hear what people have to say about, you know, what's going on in those places and how you know, how they look at what's happening.
And how it impacts on us as a country.
Yes, and how it impacts on us as a country.
But you know, I listened to this evening coming down and I realized to a large extent people lose sight of the fundamental because a lot of people are doing the yin and yang. UNC did this and PNM did this, and when there's clear and present danger, and nobody focus on the clear and present danger.
We sleeping while the world burning.
Yes, and we fighting each other and so forth. But the problem that exists is bigger than UNC and PNM.
Yeah, bigger than UNC.
It's bigger than that. And I say a simple thing I said when I saw is a friend of mine out of Trinidad who brought me up to speed with what was going to take place, as the case may be. Once any activity like that start out in the Gulf and so forth, we had to understand no ship passes through.
Exactly.
We import food, we import fuel.
Things get more expensive for us.
But you can't get it. You have to get.
Well, demand and supply.
Supply.
Without supply, whatever is here, it becomes very expensive.
So we have to understand that all our fuel we import, and if there's any activity out in the ocean, no fuel vessel coming through to come in.
That's correct. Your friend calling. I feel she's seen you and want to talk to you. Let me hear what she had to say. Good evening, caller. Good evening, caller. Hello, good evening. Caller? She not with us, but go ahead.
She will call back.
Yeah, and the impact that has on us being a country that is not self-sufficient in anything at all.
Good evening, caller.
And the impact that has on us being a country
good evening, that caller. Caller, low long radio.
Yes, I listened, but anyway.
I feel like you're excited.
I am glad how you know me so good.
I feel like you're excited as this man in the studio.
What?
I feel like you're excited as the tall man in the Bigfoot in the studio.
Of course, competition at last. I saw two of you battling for the longest while. Two of you battling, and sometimes you alone. And my partner, you know, I go to say, what do you all know about customer service? And what do you all do again? Companies this. But my company of 3 empires or 4 empires, they come in late. They're not coming at all. They come in half an hour after. Are we supposed to protest to management? Because and then I'm so glad to see my competition. Because I was getting beat down, Let me put it here. I was getting beat down by Mr. Matterson. But I know my friend there will be my corner.
The beat down
because,
with immediate
as
effect,
I say, once the double man around the Savannah, once the double man around the gas station, I don't know if he gets his products from America or what. I don't think it will worry him. But once I have the doubles, things are okay with me. I don't know about y'all. I don't know, right? And once I hear Christmas around the corner, independence and all this kind of things still up in the people's mind, things good. But I'm glad to see you.
Appreciate
you know, you were, by the way, I forgot your name. That is what they call a part-time lover.
I telling you, you jokey.
I forgot your name. What is your name again?
Selvon Mitchell, you forgot?
Yeah. You
no,
you loving this man all the time. This man showing you that kind of love all the time, and you forget his name. You gone away for a few weeks. You forget the man's name.
A few weeks is like a few years to me. I mean, anyway, I'm glad to see White Shirt. Let me tell you, and I'm looking forward to your contribution.
Yeah, I'll be here.
Okay,
yes.
thank you, caller. Yeah.
Okay, bye-bye.
We supposed to be having a conversation now on how do we turn around, and we started this a few months ago. How do we turn around this economy, to bring about a level of self-sufficiency and so forth in terms of food in the first instance, and I always say a country that cannot feed itself. You're really independent. And we have not seen yet a great focus on our agriculture sector or strategy being implemented or discussed on that turnaround. We haven't seen that.
Well, I say it almost every day. I can't wait to see what the budget going and say about that.
Well, the whole country is bated breath
because
to see.
I think we need to start the turnaround.
Yep.
And that turnaround means that we need to invest more in agriculture so we can feed ourselves at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And that is what I await. If the batsmen come good with that, they get a couple sixes one time, just like Paul. Real sixes. They hitting sixes.
But more importantly, well, sure as say common good means what exactly in terms of the strategy for turning around that sector, because there are a number of things we can be doing all now, really and truly, that I thought, when you're in waiting, you prepare, but there wasn't much preparation while they were in waiting, because conversation as to a clear defined strategy for the agriculture sector haven't been spoken to.
Well, probably the people right now.
Philip had spoken a lot while he was on his PP campaign.
He was here, he was here with us today,
Okay, I was not aware.
He was on the show.
Excellent.
As a batsman, he came out there and he promised to come back.
Excellent, good.
Yeah.
So once we refocus on those things, I know the energy sector will be humming. The energy sector will be turning around. Within this year, we should supposed to see some significant turnaround in the energy sector.
Good evening, caller.
Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon to everyone. I'll be extremely brief this evening. I just wanted to call in to say I totally support what you all said in terms of figuring out how we could turn around our economy. Of course, we need to pay attention. They use the term socio-economic, so we definitely need to assess these social issues that could revolve and be a hamper to whatever economic developments we might start to make. So we need to, in my view, we need to look at it from twofold, but totally support what you guys saying. So let's still continue to listen. As you're saying, agriculture for sure. Last week a gentleman there was saying you're familiar with some areas in Trinidad where maybe we could reassess and see if crops could grow there, and in terms of what skills we could immediately provide. We have been talking about tourism, but from a limited knowledge of economics, that might take a while for us to say we could really do that. So agriculture for sure, what goods we could sustain ourselves with, reduce our import bill, export, and what services. The government did and B-Mobile did invest in artificial intelligence for the youths. If we could boost engineering skills, production skills, they say manufacturing. So my little contribution, I will listen to you all.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so what we have to start doing apart from that is expanding our economic zone. We called free zone some time ago. The same thing, but we call it economic zone, to attract some foreign direct investment in terms of manufacturing sector and so forth. Creating that space for capturing the European and the American market from South-South trade, bringing it through here, Trinidad, manufacturing and moving it on as the case may be. Those are some creative things that could create jobs, could stimulate activity on the port.
That right now, but it's things that taken away from us, taking away our foreign reserve and that kind of motor cars. All the time people selling motor cars, all kind of different kind of motor cars. Why that's good, but we ain't had it.
So we had to start bringing those things here. I mean, it's simple. You believe in Burkina Faso, there's simple electric vehicles inside.
Yeah, they have some.
They're progressing, and one would look back and say these Africans, they're not backward, they're moving ahead. And they come. If you look at place Rwanda, after that genocide of 1 million,
they are one of the fastest
growing economy. They came from behind Trinidad, way behind Trinidad,
way behind everybody,
and run past Trinidad.
Yeah, what was happening to them in 91, 92?
Yes, you understand it. Yeah. So what I'm saying, turning around an economy is not a difficult thing. It's just the right leadership you need. That's all.
Correct.
That's all. When I saw what Gangami did with Rwanda. After that, I said, man, during COVID, they had put up their own satellites for internet and so forth, you know,
Wow.
in Rwanda. I said, my God. So we need, and I hope the batsmen could give the level of leadership that the country need to turn around or to pivot now. We need to stop, pivot, and turn around and so forth, because the trajectory we're on, we will die fast, very, very fast, as the case may be. It is not too late. We still have a educated population, a literate population, I should say. We have a high skill set. We have the land resource and so forth. We have the port. We have the calm oceans and so forth for trade and so on. We are the capitalized. We just need thinkers. And I feel we lack that.
What do you think about what do you think about how the feelers feel? Because you have been here for some time, and you know we talk a lot about the batsmen and the feelers, but we talk yesterday we get the batsmen and them someplace. Yeah. Right? But the feelers, what do you think about how they feel?
As far as I look at the feelers, just a knee-jerk reaction. I didn't get nothing in a sense of direction. Just sort of, you hit many and a kick out. You hit many and a kick out. But I'm not seeing any strategic position coming in. I just look at the warship thing and this thing with U.S. landing on the soil. And the feelers were criticizing the batsmen about how you going to let them come in. But the feelers who signed the agreement for them to come on.
Exactly.
So I'm trying to figure out, but nobody don't talk in the group or something like that.
No, but we were saying that yesterday. We also said that yesterday. Because at the end of the day...
Somebody call in.
Oh, yeah. At the end of the day, that is the girlfriend calling there again. Good evening, caller.
Yes, good afternoon, sir. It's nice to see the three umpires there again.
I don't know. Four of us yesterday,
yes, that the man in the white shirt, there's a lady looking for him. She's been calling for weeks now. I'm sure she's glad to. I'm sure she's glad to see him. But I like the examples you all called.
She just
called to make sure he's okay. Yes. I like the examples you all call in terms of development, and especially the African countries, but noting very well that those countries learn very hard lessons. The lessons that they learned were not pleasant ones at all, and sometimes that's part of the course. Maybe we need to learn some hard lessons, God forbid, but sometimes that gives you a kind of pivot, and after that you see progress. But the discussion is well suited, but my criticism or my desire for the bowling side right now, well, the batting side actually, would be that they are non-expensive things that they can do in the meanwhile. We understand the monetary constraints, but it doesn't cost much to have dialogue with the people. It doesn't and constructive. We're not talking about your Monday night forums. Those are of a particular ilk, and that might have its place. But the intelligent discourse and ideas, just like how we have the pre-budget forums, especially in the areas in which you want to attract more dialogue and more ideas, as you all said, agriculture. It costs little to have these forums all over the country, and there are things you can do while we wait. I find sometimes things are too much in abeyance. We're looking for the shoe to drop. We don't know when this will happen. Some of the shoes that drop, we kind of confused. But there could be constructive dialogue and forums. I assume that there's a role for the university in this respect as well. To pilot certain discussions and give information. All the technocrats and the people who know how could, gather and lend support and give ideas and contribute to that pivoting before money. I mean, we know, we've heard that there are certain constraints. What is the new plan for CPEP? What is the new plan for URP? We have led the discussion in our little neck of the woods. But there's nothing preventing the state from, getting those ideas out, having a dialogue with the people. And sometimes your decisions are much more well accepted through dialogue. In industrial relations, we understand the principle of consultation. And consultation doesn't really necessarily say you have to agree. But it is still a pillar of some of these serious issues in industrial relations where you must have consultation with the workers. And I dare say that it is maybe time for consultation with the public to get it down to the nitty-gritty. We're passing the election stage, we're passing the campaigning stage, we're talking about strategy here. And have these think tanks going. That doesn't require $500,000 or $500 million in a budget. But so I think there's a little lull now where people are starting to wonder, you know, where is bus really going? You know, it's early still in the innings. We know that, you know, but there's a time where a batsman has to get into second gear. You know, you can't block the ball for the entire innings. You understand? You will drive up the net run rate and you'll start to whoop, we know, coming down to the end. So there are productive things and spaces I think that the state could occupy at this minute while we wait on other things to happen.
Correct. I take this call. Caller, good evening.
Yes. Good evening. I like what you're saying about productive, that we should start, the country has to start moving, you know, in a direction, as Stephen was saying. But one of the things we do as Trinidadians, I think, we have to stop playing, you know, to get the country going and moving and being, how you all describe it, right? I think we have a culture of, as I think as Prime Minister, I can't remember, Eric Williams said, we have a carnival mentality. And that is a mentality, yeah? That means right through. You're waiting to the next fete. So yes, we might go and work, but we're quick to put down the tools. Like we all talking about agriculture, and I find that is the best, one of the biggest things to start this country going, you know. But a lot of people put down tools, stop working and fete, and stop working again. Now they work very good. They could be excellent, but it's the mentality of when is the next fete. You know what I mean? We have to come serious. We have to, and start with the youth. That is very good. How I have faith in the batting side. I don't know about you. I have faith in the batting side, and I think one of the biggest things is agriculture. I know that.
So
but it will be a time.
You know what the batting side, how the batting side going to bat where agriculture is concerned? Tell us.
Of course. You know why? Let me tell you. Let me tell you why. It is in their DNA. I remember from Basdeo Pandit days when he was campaigning. He didn't win any election. He came up where I was living, and he was talking to the people. They believe in agriculture. Now, you remember, they're not perfect. You remember everybody has, as Matheson says, corruption is in what you said, Matheson? Corruption is in Trinidad or something like that?
That's become an institution.
What you said earlier?
That's become an institution.
It hasn't. Well, I was going to call you to disagree. It is not an institution. Politics is corruption. The meaning of politics is corruption, and that is why. But in between there, no, that all over the world, not only Trinidad. What part of the world doesn't have corruption? But the thing about it is, in between the corruption, there are always people who do their job, and that is what makes the difference. They do their job. I know it is in the DNA. They give land. They said, okay, we want to give you all this land. You know what the young people said? No, they want 10 days. I was there. And this is years ago. That is to tell you, really years ago. They said, no. We want to 10 days. And our country, they don't want to. We ain't going on land. And they were giving it away free.
Okay, caller.
To develop,
keep
right?
Listening to us.
So I find it a good direction.
Yeah.
All right.
But again, as you know, as Empire Rolex was saying, and the caller, to jump on board a vessel or a train, you have to make sure you know the direction it is going. So we know where we're going, we know where's the objective, we know where's the end in mind. Like any corporate governance, this will always look at a country as a business in terms of how you set your policies, how you get everybody on board, singing the same song with a clear sense of direction, what we want to achieve, and the benefit that will be derived when we get there, as the case will be.
Correct.
And you know, I was trying to figure 5 months before budget and so forth, and there must be something significant placed on the table by the batsmen, something measurable. After 5, you can't tell me after 5 months we are doing anything.
Well, they spoke a lot before. They did say, I mean, in all fairness, they did tell us where they want to go, how they want to go. We see some things going in a particular direction, and we know one of the impediment is the fact that maybe they don't have the allocations in our budget to do some of the things so it's like they're trying to turn around the ship, but like you, we need to see some kind of positive direction.
I mean, crime is still we're doing the SOE now. We look at the crime situation and so forth. We're hearing about plans and so forth. In the budget, to a large extent, I don't know if we...
Let me take this caller. See now, caller. Calling a while. Caller?
Yeah. Good afternoon, Stephen.
Good afternoon.
A long time now here, you?
Thank you, my friend.
The president in the wrong to go here. And you see that topic of the talking, it working in straight from the last letter. Because I keep on saying the same thing. When we say we, and then it's we who do the elect, and we did elect representatives, so we are saying we. What we expect the representatives will do everything for we, or the same we had to form some sort of organization, get the whole structure together. Because when we have this structure together, we go and send people in the representative where the money is to handle restructure. I think that is what really supposed to be the orchestrated construction of the whole political thing. We leaving out itself and still calling we the ones who do all the working. We the one who the standard of it to manage we working. And when we look for them to manage it, even though we want them to manage it, they imagine it how they want to manage it. And how we call it. Oh, what we go do and how we go get the agriculture thing going, how we go get them shipbuilding going, how we gonna get the aluminum smelter going, how you get the water something. It's we who have to come together, get it going, so that we could live off it. And we send representatives to set up money and fix the money for bank the money and fix the money too. You see, so we live enough we. And everybody, we could do and we could do. Who is the we here then? The 24th one people to manage what we call the state. And the state is basically supposed to be handling. Them supposed to be listening to what the other side, blocking them up too if possible. Remember being doing that?
Alright, caller.
I have to go with that, because I don't know how to keep it. You see, all is my power, and I keep on telling all that. It's all the educated the people who have to build that thing, and the conscious-minded people, I tell you, they're able to do it. And if everyone doing it, who else to do it?
Thank you, caller. You'll take our next caller. Yeah, good evening, caller.
Good evening. I'm not feeling in there. So listen to the objective, right? But you're saying 5 months in power. But I mean, it's 4 months. I just listen to what you're saying, boss. You're saying in power 5 months and the ship is staying, right? But it's really 4 months.
4 months, yeah.
No, I was talking of to budget.
Oh, to budget. So you project. Okay. Understand what you're saying? Some of points up to me, but Yeah, well, no, I love to listen to what you're saying, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, thanks, boss.
Yeah, so basically what I'm saying is that in terms of the budget will have to be a budget what we call a budget that pivots the country and stop its decline and a whole turnaround strategy, really and truly. That would have to. But the strategy must not be a conversation strategy from the government. It must show a level of inclusion of everybody in the turnaround, because half the country can turn it around.
Yeah.
There have to be a role of how we include everybody in this turnaround, and that'll be the creativity I want to see coming out of the budget and how they get that buy-in from the population.
When you say that, you remind me when I was in school, but my masters, we talk about buying, and we talk about when we look at what is the model we talk about, strategic planning. Kata model.
Kata. Oh, yeah, the change management.
Change management.
Right? So it's how they pivoted, but more so, it must be that because you understand, you can have half the country that work in the public service and have the other half, and half is fighting you, and you can't have that.
Yeah. So we have a plan.
Yeah.
Let me take this call. Good evening, caller.
Evening, Empires again. Hey, Mr. Selvan, happy to see you, brother.
Thank you, my friend. Blessings to you.
Yeah, you was missed. But you was missed by one person in particular, but I have a secret to tell you.
I feel you leaning against a wall, you know.
Let's come out here today with Savicha.
Some numbers was exchanged when you wasn't here. And we'll leave it there.
Wow.
Tell the story, man. Tell the story.
Yeah, no, accept the number.
So, I agree with you guys. You know, two things we have to concentrate on, and they should get cracking at it as soon as possible. You see stability, you see food, stability on ourselves, and agriculture. And they should be heading straight across the Tobago and talking about agriculture here. We should, and you know what legislation should be passed? We can look for 2 years and 3 years. You have to have a 10 years vision. Where you want to end up.
More than 10 years. China started since after the period, since Mao Zedong, since after the period of humiliation. And today, the world leading economy. In front of America.
But you see, the thing is, well, Mr. Matheson, you see, the thing is, after, let me say this 5 years, an election call again, and a different government coming, policies stop.
And that's the problem. When you always talk about that.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
We had a legislative planning.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. And two things to bring you out of this economic, you see, tourism in Tobago. Tobago is supposed to be Mecca tourism in Trinidad and in the Caribbean. That should be the #1 destination.
We do have beaches like Barbados, but we
there are
have the
other
money.
things that we
have
can
the money that we could have
market.
developed certain things in Tobago to make Tobago that kind of place. And
so I will make room for that colors, but I like that fact is agriculture and tourism, and we build on that. All right, guys, look on this.
Because our energy sector is in a woeful state, our NGC
we
and so forth, our gas
innovative
supplies. If you, I mean, I don't want to say it, but if you know the crime state of our Point Lisas industrial estate, and what happens in the night and what happens in the day with the supply of gas, most of those companies kind of slow down their production, or some shut down in the evening while TNTech ramp up their demand for gas and so forth. You know, we're in a peculiar state. This is why the government, I mean, I don't envy them at all, you know. I mean, they run into it. They say they want it. And I hope they use that special majority that they have in Parliament to really make some serious laws to keep the country on a footing, and not 1 year or 5 year laws as the case may be. Yes, because we need to turn this country around. We have all that's necessary. We just have too much mismanagement. I always say Trinidad is one of the most mismanaged country I can never understand. If we go back to the history, remember we had trains, we had the steel mill, we had the sugar industry, we had the buffalo soy, we had the citrus industry, we had the, if I go to all the industries we had Touri with all those farms and so forth, we just shut down everything. Trying to figure out, well, and now we're looking to run back to it. I don't remember who was thinking then. You know, on that PM Manning time, they're trying to go back to the train that we shut down the train and so forth. We shut down the steel mill. Why, we carrying a steel mill? Okay, now somebody want to buy it and start it back up. We shut down the...
I was talking to a friend of mine and they were saying, but all of that was because of bad management.
Bad management. We shut down Petrotrain. Why?
And the trade unions, to an extent, they would have created some situations that became difficult, because at the end of the day, as we talk all the time about productivity, well, productivity or the lack thereof is a product of how government operates. It had little to do also with workers and employer-employee relationship. It has a lot to do with the environment that government creates to be able to get that kind of productivity. So I was trying to say some days ago that our traffic transportation system is one of the main hindrance to productivity. When you have people losing 4 hours a day on the road just trying to get to work to give the productivity. I mean, that,
and those are common sense fixes, you know.
It's common sense thing.
It's common sense
because that same money, that same millions or billions you're losing every year. If you take that and you build roads over, you build railway over the roads or whatever, right? And you get people to do that, they'll do it for free.
You understand sometimes, again, we talk corruption and sometimes these things are this way to facilitate certain people, you know, because if we move a lot of, we have, 300,000 persons come to Port of Spain every day. Monday to Friday, we have 200,000 vehicles on average. If you decentralize the business in Port of Spain, I say, if you move out the foot traffic, you suffer my business. So you find government catering to certain people while the whole country suffers, you know, and cater to a group of people, you know. So, we have to keep them people coming to Port of Spain, you know, because this group want to survive.
I think UNC tried to do that on the last occasion they were in government. They were trying to decentralize.
Why you live in Point 14 and had to come to town to work, to do a similar thing that you could do in a government agency in San Fernando, as the case may be. And these are basic, simple fixes that we could do to increase productivity in the first instance, to reduce the dependency on gas and vehicles on the road burning gas, so the fuel import that we do could be reduced significantly.
Exactly.
The inefficient transportation system caused everybody to have to buy a car because I can't pay. I don't know when PTSD come in.
Exactly.
But those are not hard fixes. Those are common sense fixes.
I think
and
even
the nauseum, we keep doing dotishness as a country, as a management, and so forth.
When I talk certain things, it sounds like I'm supporting China and them kind of things,
but it's good examples.
But we have examples. It's happening. So what's stopping us from doing it?
To do certain things, and you don't even have to. I mean, in some cases, I mean, if you look at what China doing in Africa, for instance, places that was grossly undeveloped just about 6 or 7 years ago, looking like New York, right? Because you have the Belt and Road Initiative, and what China is doing, some people say is a different kind of imperialism, but you have China going into those countries, not just giving them loans, but building it for them, and then taking it over and running it until they pay it off. It's working for
Jamaica with the toll highway they built in Jamaica recently.
It's working for citizens. That's what you want, right? It's really costing you nothing except what you might be losing from the utility of it over time, but you will get it eventually to be yours. It's like you take a loan, but you didn't do anything for it. So, I mean, all these are initiatives that we could probably introduce or entertain, and we could develop.
I'm hearing you all and I'm thinking, my mind is going back to when Mr. Manning tried to implement the Alcoa smelter plant. And that created a big issue. You know, in my mind, I'm wondering if, seeing the state of the economy, he said to himself, let's try to start making some changes.
That was a political. The concerns then was political.
Than logical.
But if when the PNM came back in office and shutting down say Petrotrain, would have do significant damage to that if that had happened, because it means that gas would have been a problem. And the smelter plant is a heavily gas intensive operation, am I correct?
Natural gas, yeah.
Yeah.
But again, it would have suffered because we have a serious challenge with natural gas supply now. So
Exactly.
it would have suffered eventually.
Right?
Yes. Yeah.
So it would have suffered. But, you know, sometimes we do things, we don't take into consideration the geopolitics.
Yeah.
We don't take into consideration all the things that we as a refinery in a place like here where we have oil and things is a momentous, it's a really good it's a gift from God.
Yes.
Right?
We close it down.
And maybe I thought maybe they could have restructured if the problem was unions.
Yeah.
If it was workers, the amount of money you pay on salary and that kind of thing, productivity, you could have restructured it.
Well, none of the recommendations should shut it down. All the recommendations say what you're saying, restructure and keep it going. But now we have to find this US and we have to hope something will happen out in the ocean there. Just we have at least one good thing with some activity in the ocean, we'll have a very fit economy because we'll have to walk to work. We just have to walk
and
to
with
work.
everything
And
centralized.
take bicycles, so we might really come back to coal pot and bicycle. Be mindful.
But in the meantime, then, what do we do? Because we are having these discussions, it's just going around in circles. What are the options for us?
We have, no, again, we have a strong agriculture
profile meaning we
and
could
opportunity
do that,
could start now. I'm saying that didn't have to take 5 months to start
Correct.
in terms of strategy, initiative, support, policy.
Yeah.
Yes, in terms of what we want to do and align people with the vision that where we're going with that and so forth. In time of foreign direct investment, those are trade conversation we could have with ECOWA, we could have with CARICOM regions, we could have with Chinese manufacturers. There's one Chinese company that started manufacturing in Trinidad, solar cells in Trinidad, because of the Trump tariff.
Yeah.
So they have started shifting.
Yeah.
So when you look at, you all talk geopolitics again, and how do you benefit from it? So geopolitics, it may not be beneficial to you as a little country hiding in the corner, you know. So you have one company that fly down here already start doing the solar thing down here, and we say, hey, let's start invite some of them to stimulate our activity in terms of employment.
Because it is employment.
Port movement,
commerce, is foreign exchange, because you could now export those things, you know, that kind of thing. So all those things are...
So policy decision in the meantime could give us, without spending a cent, by bringing that level of attraction. At least this government have already invited the Afrexim Bank to come down to do some things and so forth. That will stimulate to a large extent the private sector and bring some market connectivity to Trinidad and Tobago. Again, that is policy without government spending money and so forth. This is why I always say this country could do a balanced budget. I feel like it could do a balanced budget with Matheson and 4 of us inside here. They really do a balanced budget. Is really,
I believe so,
to assist the private sector to be more active, you know. So have conversation with them. How can I help you? What help do you need? Private sector don't need no money from government, as the case may be, right? The ease of doing business, when I look at the number, we somewhere down somewhere 74 for 152 countries.
It's difficult to
and
do.
all them things so simple. I mean, just digitize the whole system.
Thank you. And
you have systems for all that. I mean, as we say, we don't have to reinvent the wheel again.
Yes, systems.
Systems for all that.
You know, you could go Chase Manhattan with your driver's permit when you go to and open a bank account.
Yes.
In Trinidad, you have to dig up your grandmother, get your DNA to open a bank. They don't want business to thrive in Trinidad. It is oxymoron in the real sense of progress.
Because you're talking one thing and you're going in a totally different direction.
So all of that is policy have to change that. Really and truly.
Correct.
We have to say, I see the PM debate, the captain of the debates, I talk about it. Why you have these state enterprises, people working for $100,000 a month or more, being inefficient and they're still employed? If I'm paying you, you can't do the job, move. Simple as that, but they're there for years, like statues and so forth. Can do nothing to turn around these agencies and make them efficient. Move them out of the way. And that level of seriousness is what we want. But the country could turn around. It's easy to turn around, just we have to make some firm, hard decision. You might say Lee Kuan Yew was saying, but he just make firm, hard decision. What is the right thing? I don't care. Cry blood is the right way. We're going on.
That's what we said earlier on. No, because we call ourselves a democratic country in some way and independent and all kind of thing. We like to call ourselves.
I like that one. I like that.
It's sometimes difficult even for politicians to do that because we always see the negative in something good that could happen. So you just have pushback all the time. But people have to start thinking, not just, and as Mr. President says all the time, it's we.
It's
right?
we, yeah.
It's we have to encourage it. Right?
Yep.
We have to allow for a facilitator too, for the government to provide that enabling
environment, yes.
And we have to nudge them into doing it.
Yep.
Because and shows like these and others would in some way inform government and the people as to how we should go, and because we've seen it. No places, you see places like Dubai and thing, no desert.
Yeah, they start from nothing, and the quality that they have there is amazing.
They have no water problem.
No, but interestingly enough, as you said, Dubai and the Middle East and so forth, with all the oil and gas they have diversified their economy.
And that's what we say
significantly.
But Guyana. Thinking like them, Guyana say we don't want to be following Trinidad, being for that foot and mouth thing, that Dutch disease thing. We're following all the we have a sovereign wealth fund, and that is for our people down the road. That will pay you a certain thing that every single citizen will get, just like in Libya and all
in
those
Holland and so forth, Denmark and so Denmark has that and so forth. Yes.
Scandinavia, they have sovereign now. As I see the other day, this place, Scandinavia, this Scandinavian country is pulling out all the $2 trillion in investment and the fund from the sovereign wealth fund from Israel.
Wow.
Yeah. So when I was talking earlier on about countries probably standing up and saying something about what going on in Israel, they would have stood up. Norway.
Norway,
they would have stood up against that. So they are one of them who say, listen, we pulling out the money. This is our sovereign wealth fund for our people. We pulling out them kind of investment from Israel. But people have to say something, Good evening, caller. Good evening, caller. Caller? Yeah, caller. Are you hearing us? So that caller wasn't hearing us. Apparently, he didn't know he was connected. Yeah, but what I'm saying is, it is clear that somehow we're not really thinking. I mean, we're not thinking big.
Yeah.
Probably we saying we give up and we say, well, we just had the money to do certain things and we want to take no loan, or we want to extend no situation. Listen, the world, I was reading something a couple of days ago with the amount of debt. The world debt is today, they say not even in a lifetime they could be paid at it. The world could pay at it. And the countries that had the most debt is places like America.
USA.
Yes. Right?
Yeah.
And they can't pay because they
can still pay back the debt.
They can
pay back their own debt.
In a lifetime.
Yep.
But we are afraid to to do certain things. Hey, listen, live good.
Yeah, but again, we are not, let me tell you something. The government have a great opportunity to demonstrate leadership, to demonstrate that they have strategy, but more importantly, they have a level of inclusion of thinkers in the country that we have a lot of in terms of the turnaround plan and so forth as they move forward. But if they feel they can do it alone, failure is sure. They cannot do it alone. They can't. And they must include.
But the sad thing is that, you still continue to have this adversarial politics.
I'm listening to it here. I said,
you still continue to have that adversarial politics.
Like if the country sink, only the government will
one
sink.
Side responsible.
Because
There's
the opposition we will sink.
So, opposition and they had to start, I think, nationalistic.
Correct.
Not them and we.
Correct.
It's not them and we come together. Yeah, I hear a call this evening and was saying that 80% or 75% of the people in government is UNC and all
yeah,
but you can't make that determination from looking at people.
That's
Correct.
nonsense. I mean, you had to think too, man.
Really?
You come and see
You'd
that
be
kind
too
of
heavy in the
and
politics.
UIP, I hear that they send home nobody. They call people in UIP, and they all was there for the last 10 years.
Yep.
Right? So stop talking that kind of nonsense now.
Well, I see we winding down.
Would you be on the show tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll be on the show tomorrow.
Sure.
I get the timing. I know what time I have to leave South now.
There you go.
I know what time I have to leave South now.
Today I was in South too myself. I did that timing. I left South this morning.
Okay, I know the timing.
And then I went to Cuba after. So tomorrow,
we have to expand on this because we're getting close to budget. And we have to put a needs list on the table. The empires must have a needs list where we want to see out in the outfield.
Yeah. I don't see already why I want to see. I mean, why? If I see they put $8 billion in agriculture,
then
and
I
they
know.
talk about how they're going to develop. They're going to develop certain things.
Yeah,
be comfortable. That's the right direction.
Different kind of farming that is not affected by rain or sun or you know that kind of thing. I will say, hey, we're going in the right direction because we can feed the Caribbean.
Yes.
I think we should start looking into how we integrating the prison system into agriculture because we have too many people.
You see that? Remember that.
Where people going to jail. So what are we doing with these big flat screen TVs and so on?
All them people who in prison.
And create a plan, a structured compensation plan for them when they come out of prison.
And you was found not guilty, we pay you.
Yeah.
Right?
Teach them to farm, give them a skill so when they come out of the system, they can be able to support themselves.
It's 15 years hard labor, so what are you doing for that hard labor? Only picking up soap? Ladies and gentlemen, we will be back tomorrow. You're picking up soap?
Stephen Matheson.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the street 919 FM.